In a world of shiny helmets, spandex jumpsuits, and strange monsters, these heroes force feed you a bowl of awesome that is the Tokudon Podcast. Join Carl and Rob as they haphazardly welcome you to the exciting genre of Tokusatsu. Now, open wide.
I'm playing it like if I'm getting hit, it's my fault in this game.
Yeah.
I deserve to get hit. There's no fucking way you have to get hit in this game.
Yeah. Is it on? Okay, it's mine on. Yeah, surprise live, guys. What's up?
Hey, what up? I'm trying to. There we go. I made it to the bonfire. Pretty be careful.
Pretty be careful.
Pretty be. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, you. Oh, okay.
I had to. Come on, man. What's up, dude? Just for you, K20. I had to put that Ultraman one on because today we're talking about Shin fucking Ultraman.
Yes, we are, my boy.
So.
What a experience.
Yeah.
What an experience.
It was an experience. That is for true.
Yeah. So if I don't know, let's do this right off the bat. Spoilers, full spoilers.
Yeah.
So today's discussion, we're obviously, like we said, we're going to talk about Shin Ultraman, but I've watched it twice already, and I think I have more questions than anybody can answer.
So I've seen it. This movie, if you guys didn't know, had a 2-day showing in the box office in the U.S. Maybe North America in general, but definitely the U.S. It had 2 days. It was Wednesday and Thursday that you had a chance to go see this movie. And yeah, it was interesting. So I drove up so that we could see it together, and I didn't.
I should apologize because I forgot. Mind you guys, we saw it in this little tiny theater, kind of this, it's a small town, so it's a little tiny theater. But I forgot that it's built over these train tracks.
It's
so in the middle of the movie,
over thousands of dead bodies that may be haunting this movie theater. So
like it's this creepy place, but I love it because you guys know I like the creepy shit. But it's really that in the middle of the movie, we were hearing the train going off, and I thought it was the movie, and I forgot for a moment that it's because we're right above some train tracks. Like, yeah, that's gonna happen.
They literally
ran
movie. Behind the movie theater. It was kind of wild. Like the entire town just has a huge, like not even a basic like SEPTA. Like SEPTA is our like local train system. This is like a freight train. We're talking like the mile-long assholes that just like take 20 minutes to go by because there's 30 cars attached to this one little engine.
Yeah, I mean, I used to live in that area, and it got to a point where you don't even notice it. You know what I mean? Like, it just becomes a subconscious thing.
Yeah.
But being back there, I was like having PTSD. I'm like, wow, that used to happen like on the hour, every hour. Like,
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, I didn't hear it at all. I was so engrossed in the movie that I didn't hear any of that. So, I mean, if I did, I probably just assumed it was the city. So
that's what I'm saying. So it says a lot because this movie, I think I was just saying, this was an experience of a movie because it's let's be fair. All right, coming off of Shin Godzilla, when you heard, hey, a new Anno Shin Ultraman,
yep,
I think all of us were like, are we getting this Godzilla vibe, this dark universe that's gonna be molded into each other, that type of situation?
Yeah, and we even talked about this a little bit when Daryl came on the show. We talked about the Shinverse and what this would happen with Kamen Rider and Ultraman and things like that. If you guys want to go check that out, we had a really good discussion about that. That is episode 60 something when Daryl J. Delphin came on.
Yeah. Shout outs to Daryl. Shout outs, bro.
Yeah. But I just want to say before we get into the actual meat and guts of this movie, some things that are kind of mind-blowing about what happened. So, like I said, this was a 2-day in the box office. This raked in $600,000 in 2 days for a
limited release.
For a limited release in a genre that is very niche. On top of that, so
that's a win.
Yeah,
that's a win, guys. A win is a win.
Godzilla made 4.4 billion. 30.
That's Godzilla.
Yen. So that's about 33 million, and that ran for a couple weeks. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So this only running for a couple days and earning, it says 17% of what Shin Godzilla earned, or 17% more of what Shin Godzilla earned in that time frame is rather interesting. And one thing I'm learning the more we get into Ultraman, because we've talked about how like we don't Ultraman.
We don't Ultraman.
It's not our
well.
cup of tea.
It's not. We don't it well, but we're learning. We're learning.
The more we Ultraman, the more I'm learning about how much of a history like the generation before us has with this show. Like, listen, Ultraman has had like most of the people in that audience when we went were like twice our age.
At least the dude in front of us, he was like chucking up a storm, and I'm like, this guy gets levels that we're missing here. Yeah, and he's having the time. He was having such a good time. I don't know if you've noticed him, but my man was yucking, clapping, stomping like the whole time. Yep. And I'm like, wow, there's stuff in here that we're missing, because it was great. Even the stuff that we got, we're like, oh shit, that was clever. Yeah. But like you said, seeing it twice. And then doing the deep dive, I think you did too. I get it too now. I see what we're missing out. I know that there's so much that we have yet to discover, bro. Like a lot. Like the overall take, I assume, has been positive, right?
Yeah. From what I can tell, just, my limited, again, I am not a social media expert. I am not someone who keeps up on these pulses, if you will, but my finger kind of poking around for it, it all feels really positive. A lot of people really loved this movie. And it's a good movie. Like, I'm not going to take anything away from it. It is a fantastic movie. It was a fun trip. The trip, like, knocked my head back, and like I felt my cheeks flapping the whole time for 2 hours, because there is so much in this goddamn movie. Like, this is non-stop. It's just like that's how fast it's going constantly.
And it never takes itself too seriously. It's always giving you that this is pretty heavy, but hey, lighten up. This is a joke. Here's 3 jokes for you. You know what I mean?
Here's
like
3 jokes. And you know what one of my favorite sayings is? Fuck it. Do it live. It's one of my favorite sayings.
Listen, if Ichigata wasn't one of my favorite guys before, now that he's become a meme, it is amazing.
So this movie stars the one and only Ichigata. If you guys ever saw the Real X Time movie, or I'm sorry, it's not Real Time. It was the Zeo crossover. Because another 01's in there. It was the Zeo, not Real X Time. Real X Time is with
Proto 01.
Yeah, Proto 01 Ichigata. It stars him and one Kamen Rider Black Sun.
He was in it too, man.
Yeah, he was in it too. It took me a second, because I was looking and I was like, wait, I know that face. Wait. Oh, it's Black Sun.
That
oh God,
was familiar.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
They had the same weird gait. It was like, did you do these back to back?
I would have laughed so hard if he like just walked into one of the rooms and he had the fucking Black Sun mouth like open up. Just what the fuck?
Every scene he was in was a good one, because he had the lines that gave you a lot of the levity of the moment. He would, and he was the straight, you know what I mean? Like, when we say it's comedy, they delivered it straight. Yeah. So it wasn't like they were looking for the joke. It was, the joke was there, and it's all in the dialogue and the delivery. These people. There
were a couple moments, I will say though, that like they did it, and I was waiting for like the slow turn to the camera. Like, they're talking and they're like, hey, you do this.
So there's one line, which, the Japanese one, for some reason, kaiju only attack Japan.
Yes.
Yes! Show up in Japan.
Oh my God. Everyone started dying.
Everybody was dying. And he was literally, it was the president or whoever it was. He was like, for some reason, kaiju only attack Japan.
Yeah, because he was like, the UN always has its eyes and gives a shit because the kaiju only attack Japan. And then there's like a slight awkward pause. And that's the moment where he just like slowly turns to the camera, essentially.
I heard that there was a showing that Higuchi was at where he actually had to apologize to the audience beforehand, because they're never really kind to America in these movies. So they portray us as like these power hungry dudes who are only going to want Ultraman for
wrong, to be fair.
It's not wrong. It's not wrong, but it's just funny that even the director was like, "Hey, so
hey
we're
guys.
cool, right?" I kind of did a joke, and it's at your expense, but it's funny. It's funny.
Yeah, we have fun here.
The one thing that this does share with the Shin Godzilla movie is the back deal stuff, the backdoor bureaucracy, bureaucratic stuff that happens at every level before a decision is made. That's why when like this movie is shown through the perspective of the SSSP, and each of them have like connections. Like the story doesn't spiral beyond them.
They created this team specifically for like dealing with kaiju, right? And each one of them is essentially like the characterization of like each of the groups from Shin Godzilla. You have the biologist, you have the sociologist, you have the whatever, you know what I mean, like that kind of thing. You have all of these like key people from different communities and scientific fields coming together. Then you also have like a military dude and like a politician type dude, you know, all that kind of stuff. And they built this team solely for kaiju. So you kind of have like the nerdy engineer type dude who's extremely smart, and then you kind of have like his counterpart is like a biologist, I think. You know, she kind of does her thing. They kind of build the SSSP to be very much this, you know, team that understands all aspects of this, and like I said, kind of compresses all of that Shin Godzilla stuff into them instead of 19 main characters.
So to speak of compressing, like in the beginning, this movie starts off, they troll the shit out of you too in the beginning of this movie.
Yes.
Like they start off with the Ultra Q logo, and it does like this,
and it says Shin Godzilla.
It says Shin Godzilla in green, and then it opens up and it's Gomez's eye, and it's fucking it's trolly as shit.
Which to me kind of harkens back to one of the first villains the original Ultraman ever fought was a reused Godzilla suit. That's the one that you've ever seen.
That's the one that
in the 70s. It's literally like the Showa Godzilla suit with a fucking like lizard frill on it, like Jurassic Park lizard frill.
It's bad. It's bad because it is, but they did it on purpose. Like they trolled you on purpose. So it's brilliant. Yeah. But the Ultra Q thing is something that I knew about, but going into the research, like it's like this X-Files type of.
It's a very weird sort of meta spinoff.
Right. And that's pretty much what they based a lot of the groundwork of this movie on. Like, this is about how that group handles the kaiju attacks.
Yeah.
And how they deduce how to combat them.
Yeah.
Before they met Ultraman, so to speak, it was just this group handling it by figuring out their weaknesses. So looking into the backstory of Ultra Q, I then understood that the people who went to the theater with us were the people who saw that first, bro. Like they're the people who got on board with the sci-fi bizarre take before the kaiju toku thing took over. And that's like, I mean, excuse me, the Ultraman took over. And that's like, okay, now I see where this is, where the what's the right word? Audience is here. And a fun fact, I think I said it before, but I didn't know my father used to watch Ultraman in Spanish.
I didn't know that. I didn't know my dad was familiar with, like, so my father got me into Godzilla and stuff when I was younger, and like I thought that was kind of it. Like I thought he watched it a little bit and would just catch it on sci-fi, and like he knew I was really into the cartoons, so I didn't know he like watched Ultraman as a kid. Like it was Star Trek and a little bit of Ultraman in there for him. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was that deep. I was like, damn, okay.
It's good to know, because I'm like, oh, really? And I'm like, okay, well, which one? I guess I'll have to figure that out, because he's not going to be able to tell me. Like it was just a revelation to me. Like it's that audience that's here, and it's a little older, but it's where it's at, man. I marveled by the levity that's injected into this movie, that when I first saw it with you, I was like, what the fuck is going on? But a lot of the what the fucks now makes sense, because of there's so much homage, so much fan service, so much stuff for the old school people who get the stuff we didn't get. And
I say this
lovingly,
disrespectfully. And it, you know, this is what I'm going to say, right?
Okay.
My problem is Shin Godzilla is a standard of movie I hold everything to, whether it's kaiju, tokusatsu, whatever. It didn't hold up to that, in my opinion. And that's fine. It's a totally different fucking franchise, right? Like, that's totally, I recognize that. But in my brain, I'm still like, but Shin Godzilla is better. In my opinion. Totally 100% in my opinion. Not to say this movie isn't fun. Not to say this movie isn't a fucking trip and a half. Not to say this movie doesn't have some amazing scenes. It's just in my brain, it's like, yeah, but it's not quite Shin Godzilla.
It's all of that.
Also wasn't going for that, like you said. Like it's playing off of that, but it's also doing its own kind of campy Ultraman thing. So if you're going into this thinking like, oh, it's going to be kind of dark and gritty, kind of like Shin Godzilla was, that is not really the case. I could see this existing in the same world, but it has a very different vibe to it.
Do you think? Okay, well, the way I think of it now is the way that they did Ultraman back in the day was because they needed something in between. They came up with this show to fill a stopgap, and the way they handled the show was to breathe they didn't want so heaviness because of everything that was going on in the 60s. Yeah. This was the generation that needed to be uplifted. This was in Japan, I'm speaking. Yeah. But this was the generation that needed to be uplifted. They needed to feel good. And I re-equate it now to what they did with Saber. Saber was a feel-good rider show because that's what we needed that year. So because of that, and
also the author doesn't really know how to write anything else, so
well, I'm just saying, this is what we're saying. This is what I'm saying is like how I see Ultraman altogether now, rather than as a franchise, is it's the feel-good franchise. It's the I want to be in a good mood and feel good and have a good message. Yeah, some shit going down. It's not like clean cut. The kaiju get exploded. It's fucking great, but it's like, the overall message and the overall vibe of this is like, yes, it's scary, but it's gonna be all right. You're gonna be okay. Yeah. Come with us on this fun ass ride.
What's real fucking terrifying is having a goddamn drill face come into your chest and trying to hold it back. That made me pucker up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
While he's holding the drill, he's also like noticing behind him that behind me there's fucking nuclear weapons. Why not make this even more challenging?
Dodge his head but not let it fall. It was intense. It was fucking intense, guys.
I love it.
It was pretty sick. This Ultraman himself, let's get into the meat and bones because we kind of did this, overall thing. Let's get into the meat and fucking berries in here. So
this is obviously a retelling of the Ultraman Genesis.
Yeah, and it's Ultraman for the most part is CG. Like 99% of the time, I'm pretty sure he's CG, except when he's flying. I think that might be a model.
If it is, it's good. But they purposely made it that way. Yes. So it reminded people of how awkward it flew back in the day.
Absolutely, because he's in this weird, arched back. Very typical, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the actual statue of Ultraman. Like, his fist is 4 times the size of his head because that's just the way they did the proportioning. That's how they get that crazy, shuash, activate your beta caps, the growing. It's just the way they did the proportions. So this thing, when he flies, it's locked in this awkward, reverse U shape. Like, his back is ultra arched.
It's a rigor mortis type of look. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
But they, this is the 70s. They didn't have a lot of money to do this. Like I said, they're reusing costumes, they're reusing suits, and they didn't have a lot of money. So they're going to use this little figurine dude they have. And it might not be the most awkward. I mean, it is the most awkward fucking thing. But this movie says, what makes it super charming? Having him fucking do this in 2022/23. So let's fucking go.
But it's yes, it's all CG. I'm gonna give you that. But fun fact, they had Ben Furuya, the original suit actor, do the motion capture.
Yes, I figured it was motion capture because Shin Godzilla was also motion captured. So surprisingly, for how little he actually moves around.
Hey, the arms, that's a lot, man. It's hard to do this.
But that was motion captured too, which is very surprising. So was King of the Monsters and all the legendary ones. He's also motion captured.
Yeah,
I didn't know all motion capture. Most things use it as a skeleton nowadays. They'll do a mocap skeleton and then they'll kind of...
I appreciate that they got the old guy to do it though. That's kind of cool.
No, that's pretty badass. I'm surprised he's still alive and able to do it, to be honest with you.
So this, I'm gonna put a picture of the Ultraman. The way he looks in this one is obviously, I think we said before, where he looks more alien. And in the movie, you notice that it's very, I don't know, it does have that uncanniness to it, and it does take away in some instances where you could tell they could have polished it a little more. He could have had a little more fluidity to him, but at the same time,
humanoid proportions for that matter, because his legs are very long.
Yeah, I mean, he's a long boy.
Yeah.
He's a lanky boy.
Peacemaker saying their budget was 2 quarters and a spool of string, and they were expected to bring back change.
You come back now, yeah. And I want this returned because I want them returning all this too.
Yep. It's like, we better see if I can return on this investment here. I got some pocket lint we can throw in the pool.
But it's actually, I think I sent you something earlier today where it was. It's because of this that I saw a lot of like behind the scenes stuff of the old, like King Ghidorah versus Godzilla. That there was a big special that I was watching, and the stuff that they pull, man, like the units that they have behind the units that you don't see. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The dudes with, there's like the dudes that you see with the strings, right? Those are the main guys. But then there's the fucking guys behind them with the sandbags on the rafters that are all like.
Yep. And then there's the asshole like running down and like spanking all the buildings over. Yeah. Making all the explosions go off.
There was one. What was the one? The little lady. She was Baragon, right? She had the suit, and she was Baron. One of them. She's this little tiny lady, and she fits in the costume. So she's doing the best she can to articulate the hands, and you can hear her roaring underneath. I'm like, oh my god, this is adorable. But I love this stuff.
Yeah, that's.
Oh my god.
Hey, Toei, if you need a large white man to do one of those, please let me know. I would love to just fucking run around in a rubber suit and sweat my nuts off all day.
But it's just in this. That's the stuff that's kind of missing in this. You get the CG Christmas. It looks great.
Yep.
Most of the time, but it's something and they do a good job at trying to make at least the kaiju feel like the rubber suit equals. I have a couple stills. I'm gonna put those up if I can.
Okay.
Let's see. I have this one is Gabora, the second kaiju that shows up. They freaking flush it out with like seismic waves or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
so this is it's a mutation of one of the ones that shows up earlier, and this is the drill head I was just talking about, right? Like, so this thing, you see it has kind of like a demigorgon flower thing going on that closes into a drill, and that fucking spins. So at one point, Ultraman's trying to stop it from eating the nuclear waste behind him, or nuclear factory, whatever. He's siphoning off nuclear energy, and this thing is drilling at him, and he's trying to like hold it back while it's coming at his face, but he also can't let it go too far. It was pretty intense. And then it just opens up and it has this face in the center of it. And they're like, oh, it has the same face as Pagoda or whatever the hell his name was. Pagos. There you go. Pagos. And, you find out that there's kind of like a mutations of it. And at that point, I was like, oh, are they going to like turn this into some kind of like government plot? Like that, are the kaiju some kind of like government? Because they mentioned that, right? Like they're like, oh yeah, this is kind of like the same blueprint as Pagos, but it has slight variations to it. And I was like,
that would have been cool. That would have been a dope ass idea.
Are we doing this whole like,
But no.
No, you know what happens? They don't fucking explain any of it. Zafi shows the fuck up. That's what happens. Don't ask questions.
Nothing happens that's permanent in this thing. Nothing really significant happens other than people know that people can grow big now.
Yeah.
Literally nothing.
Literally,
but
like a 20-minute too long scene of someone growing large.
there's this political thing for like a good 5 minutes with Melphius. Forgive me if I'm whatever. Ichigata, him. Where he's basically the demonstration on you show that you have a bigger penis and then the entire nation's just like, okay, whatever you say, man.
And that was the second time that a random alien showed up and took over the government, by the way, in this movie. This happens twice in this fucking movie. Because some alien just shows the fuck up and goes, hey, I got the secrets to big dumb technology. Ultraman over there, he's part of that big dumb technology. What's up? You want me to rule the world, or what's up?
Look, hold on. Before we get to that, I wanted to see if this works here. But I have a GIF. So, Gabora, once he does the whole Demogorgon thing, he actually launches this like crazy ass projectile.
Yeah,
and it like
he has a nuclear phaser.
it's aimed at Ultraman, but behind Ultraman is the nuclear weapon. So he's just like absorbing this. And I caught it the second time because I actually saw what they were talking about. When he's sitting there, he's eating this blast, dude. He just tease poses, and it's just like, what else you got? But he's actually damaging himself the entire time. I thought he was absorbing it.
No, because they mentioned that he starts to turn green. And so in this one, in particular, if you guys know Ultraman at all, they usually have the timers, right? Yo, Josh, what's up, dude? They usually have the timers that blink. It goes boing, 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 boing when they're about to run out of energy. And I believe the old Ultraman had one as well. I don't remember exactly, but I believe he did. In this case, the red on his suit turns green when he's about to run out of power. And so you see, cool. Like, because he kind of has this metallic texture to him because he's got like an alien liquid metal thing kind of going on. He's absorbing this blast, right? And just imagine like Godzilla atomic breath. That's literally what it is. Just like a phaser. It's exactly what hyper pinpoint version laser. Of that, right? He's absorbing it. He's walking forward, and you see like it starts to like fissure a little bit, like it heats up there, and then his red goes to green. And I was like, "Yo, what the fuck? What's going on here?" I was like, "Are they giving him alternate forms? Like, is this?" I thought he was gonna get. I thought he was gonna get a mystic form or something like that. I was like, "Oh shit!" No, but it's even better because what he does. Oh my god, dude. He's eating this blast as he's like, you know that moment where you're giving somebody. In sparring, where you've hit somebody with your best shot and they're still there. They just chuckle.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's basically what happens to this poor Gabora thing. He's blasting him. He's like, it goes on for several minutes. He's just, and all the while, he's inching closer and closer and closer. And then finally, he's just like, "You done? Okay." One punch, bro. Hold on. I think I can drop the GIF if it works. Yes, I got it.
Yeah.
It is one
straight
punch.
Straight fucking just solid karate reverse punch right to the face. And that's it.
Straight up just a chamber punch, bro. Chamber punch right to the face and done. And he kills it. And then it drops. It just drops. It doesn't like blow up. It doesn't Dragon Ball. It done.
Yes. It drops and he fucking flies away with the body. He just lifts it up and with the model, by the way. They literally just put one model on top of the other and just fucking like straight up. There's no like flying. There's no motion. I'm not joking when I say this literally looks like they just took an action figure, locked it in place, and just moved it up. Like there's no motion to it. So I don't know if you guys know, but there's like micro motions to make things look more realistic, things like that. He does not fucking move. It's like you take a Gunpla. I could take one of these dudes behind me and just go, and that's what he does, right? He's
you can hear Hiroguchi in the back going,
It was, and you know what? I feel like that's the energy of the movie, right? Like the director was having so much fun with this fucking movie.
It could only be, man, because the one, and I can't give you specific examples, but the dialogue, the delivery, the tones, the beat, the camera angles.
I think the Kaiju only attack Japan line is a pretty solid example.
That just sets precedence for the entire movie, you guys. Like, there's another line in there. What is it? Does anybody else have any bright or quick-witted ideas? Like, he's just like stressing out about what to do. What was I saying? The dude. I just had an idea in my head and I lost it with that shit.
Let's not forget that in this fight as well with Gabora or Pagos, whatever the fuck this thing's name is, it does Gabora. The coolest fucking flip kick in the world when he first shows up. By the way,
I wonder if I can find that.
So when he flies, right, he's straight and then he comes straight down, locked in the same fucking position. But in this one, he literally barrel rolls for like 30 seconds and then kicks the shit out of this thing and just sends it tumbling.
A windmill kick and a half, bro. It is the dopest.
There's like a flip kick, there's a crazy like kung fu movie flip kick, and then there's this shit Ultraman does where he just zero gravity fucking and kicks him. I was like,
he does it a good amount of times, but nothing quite as like impactful as the first Spacium beam he does. You see, he does it against the first kaiju. Naranga. Yeah. Naranga's the first one. Yeah. But I have a gif of the Spacium beam. But here, that's how Naranga looks in this one. And these kaiju look good. Like I'm saying, the one thing I'll give him as so as Ultraman looks sometimes, the kaiju look great.
Yeah.
But he does the Spacium beam. Is this it? Show me. Yes. All right. I don't know if this is true for all Ultramen, but it starts off as like this shine in his wrists.
Yes.
Is that how they all work?
Most of them, for the most part, kind of do. That GIF didn't work, by the way. So I think this was more exaggerated to show the point of him crossing the arms, because in the original he just kind of like
right.
It was like his cool hero pose to do it,
Okay.
And it's very much the effects, by the way, too, when he does his lasers and things are very much reminiscent of the 70s version.
They're all throwbacks, yo. Even the sound effects.
Yeah. He even does like the really cheesy looking energy buzzsaw thing. He fucking does that. It makes the same noise. That's the only noise it makes.
When he's fighting Melfius, he fires like 3 of them, and then when he does like this combo, it's so dope, man.
Yes.
I can't imagine like watching this movie as like a old school fan. Like this must be like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do I? It's like us watching Big G. You know what I mean? When we saw Shin Godzilla, we were like, holy fuck! You know what I mean? Like I want to say like that awe is what these old school fans are feeling, because there was so much to pull from. I put a picture of Melfius when he first shows up. Zarab. I'm sorry. Zarab.
Yeah, this is the first dude who takes over the fucking country.
First guy. So he's the one who's like he comes in and he like shuts down all the computers, and he's got this power to like reactivate shit like this. He's like this, and he's Ichigata, so he's cool as he's smooth as shit with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's just like, yeah, I'm kind of badass, but
I'm kind of awesome. Don't ask questions, okay?
Yeah, just don't piss me off, and everything's cool. Because when you piss him off, he turns into this. You know I don't like robots, man.
Yep. So this thing stands the fuck up, right? So this thing stands up.
Yeah.
That's essentially what happens, and it's a problem. It goes from this guy to this fucking thing.
Why is that thing? Why?
Just don't ask questions. And the worst part is it's like 2D basically. Like it's real thin.
Yeah, it's like hollowed out, and it still functions normally. Like I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
But did you like the trench coat robot more?
I would prefer not seeing the robot.
Because if I saw that in the fucking dark, let me tell you, I would start swinging randomly.
Listen, the fact that he shuts everything down, right? And he's like, oh my God, he shows his dick so many times. So he shuts everything off. He's like, oh my bad. This is just where I landed. Yeah. Sorry.
He's like,
and then
oops.
This is just where I landed. It just created such a powerful shockwave. I knocked out all your stuff.
I didn't mean to. Let me fix it.
Let me just turn it on back on for you and recover all the data that you lost. Oh, he does another trick. Okay, so this is where the fan service stuff comes in, because I didn't know that the B capsule and the B box thing is a legit canon thing. I thought that was like his power.
He went like his MacGuffin in the original was a beta capsule.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So it turns out that he can do the same, Rita Repulsa, make my monster grow thing. Mm-hmm. And he uses the beta capsule or the beta box on the one member of the SSSP, the what's her name? Asami? Yeah, whatever. Her. Yeah. She just becomes this giant fan service where all it is just upskirt shots and leg shots and boob shots and everything, just to get the excuse that the attack of the 50-foot woman is happening in this movie
Pretty much. Yep.
Because and he goes, so this is a display of what I can do. Sign over the power to me and we're cool. You know what I mean? Like, really, that was your plan. But it's that ridiculousness. All she does, she elbows a building, and that's it. And then
they mentioned like, oh, she looks like she's in a trance. Like, what's going on here? And apparently, when she grows, it kind of has this like mind control effect almost.
Should have mentioned that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That's the important part. He turns them into weapons.
Yes,
and that's kind of what he says to Ultraman. Yeah, that's right.
So the whole idea is, Zarub and then eventually Maleficus, they both kind of have the same game, right? Like they're trying to get people beta boxes. But in this case, Zarub is like, hey, you can, I'm just going to create a bunch of weapons. Like I'm going to use humanity for weapons because we know they can fucking grow now. Because Ultraman, because we kind of skipped over this pretty important part. The way Ultraman becomes Ultraman is when he crash lands on Earth, he accidentally kills a member of the SSSP. Shinji, was it Shinji something?
No, Kaminaga.
Shinji Kaminaga, right?
Yep.
Is that a name? I think so. Yeah, pretty sure.
Yep, we're gonna go with Kaminaga. That's for
Kaminaga.
Sure.
Yep, we're going with that because Shin Hayata is the original dude, and I'm pretty sure it's Shinji Kaminaga in Shin. It's very confusing. But either way, Ultraman crash lands, kills this dude, and feels bad. So he literally goes, "Oops." He feels fucking terrible.
So Kaminaga's, he's playing hero. He's saving this kid, and then the explosion when he hits the ground.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, did you catch it? He's just like, and he's like dead, and this big ass rock that just cracked the back of his head.
Is that what happened? I missed it. I just saw him running, and then I just saw like the dust overtake him.
It's the second before the dust takes him, you see this massive rock, and it just goes whoop, and he's like, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah. So,
but yeah.
Swayed by his heroic heart, Ultraman feels a little remorse. So he's like, he doesn't combine. Let's get this straight here. He doesn't combine with this dude. He takes the form of this guy.
Let me post this in the Discord, and it'll show you something that I didn't know. So if you check this out, it says when Ultraman uses the beta capsule, his mind is transferred back into his real body, which is that massive thing, right? This causes the Shinji proxy to become immobile and static.
Yep.
When he's rising out of the ground, he grabs the proxy and destroys it every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. So this man, I'm not even joking. So the whole point of the beta capsule is it's basically like an RPG pocket, right? Like it keeps thing in a quantum realm and can kind of just spit it out whenever you need it. That's the whole point. He hides his real body in there. And when Shinji activates the fucking beta capsule, the real body comes out, like it's saying. It transfers back. But like it's also this weird kind of quantum realm bullshit.
It's definitely
science MacGuffin, But like my point is, in the original, they combine to like save each other. Ultraman is injured and Shin Hayata is injured. They combine to like save each other, sort of thing. He's like, I feel fucking bad, man. Oops. Fucking oops. Oops.
And it's a weird story because when you do see the scenes with him being Shinji Kaminaga with the SSSP, the first couple scenes are very much, this guy's an alien. Like nobody talks like that. Nobody asks these questions.
Even before he like kind of runs away, it's like, what the fuck?
He goes, so what do I call these people? These people that we share this place with? You mean your coworkers,
he basically
your teammates?
like kicks in the door, like abruptly kicks in the door and goes, "Hello, fellow humans."
He's like, what are we doing today? Oh, we're acting like a herd? Okay, we're a herd. Like, wait, what? This is the mentality that you had?
So confused by that scene, to be honest with you.
I get it now because it's like he didn't know anything and he was trying to figure this shit out. It's like, how do you be normal? It's
literally
like,
said,
dude, like imagine,
and it was like, I'm gonna become this guy.
Dude, you're an astronaut, okay? You land on this planet, you accidentally smash one of the people, you fuck it all up, you go to his job the next day and then just try to figure shit out.
Could you imagine, right? I would throw a scenario out there for you guys to relate to. Imagine you show up on Mars, right? Your fucking capsule lands on Mars and crushes some asshole.
Marvin the Martian. You kill Marvin the Martian.
You don't know Marvin the Martian, and then you're like, shit. Now I gotta put his meat suit on. Hang on, let me just get his fucking.
It's so wild. The more you think about it, it becomes more and more bananas. When you watch it again, you'll have that level of appreciation because I'm like, why didn't anybody say anything?
Well, Asami tries to point it out. She's like, oh my god, this dude's a weirdo.
The newbie. So Asami is actually the new transfer, right? She's the new person in. So she's new.
And it's important to mention that she's from like an intelligence branch of the government. Like she's basically a spy. And she shows up to and goes, wow, this is a bunch of nerds. And then like fake Shinji starts talking to her and she's like, this dude's fucking weird. No, how does no one else see this? She's like literally looking around the room like, is this really guys?
But then again, the other characters are fucking characters too. Taki, the smart one, he's this weird, super hyper focused dude that has like he's just a coward, but he's like I can do this, I can figure it out. But then once everything still falls to shit, he panics.
Yeah,
he's like, it's that typical smart aleck dude.
Yep.
Then the weird cookie one, which is my favorite, Kamen, Kanabari. She's my favorite. She's the weird one that's always like aware of everything but doesn't care. Yeah, it's like we have something to figure out. Let's just figure it out, okay? Like, and then the guy Black, he's the head of the dude.
Yeah,
and he's
Tamura, I believe his name was.
Tamura. And they have another dude, Manakata, whatever. Yeah, they're superior. The one who names all of the kaiju on a whim.
On a fucking, so they make that a point too. They're like, where do they get the names from? And he's like, oh, I don't know. I'm just gonna call this one Gabora. Why? I don't know. It sounds cool.
Like, he just comes up with the name on a whim. That's all it is. Like
that's literally, and then it like hard cuts to him just like spinning and twiddling his thumbs out the window.
when he hears Ultraman, he's like, I like that one.
Yes, he hears Ultraman. He's like, fuck yeah, oh yeah,
that's a good one. I like that one.
What's going on, Aaron? How you doing, dude?
What's up, bro?
Yeah, this movie is. So I gotta say, first off, also, the henshin where he grabs this now fake body apparently is my favorite henshin in the whole fucking thing. This was fire.
Yo,
fucking fire.
The fact now that I know this is what's actually happening, bro. Come on, man. Right? This is levels. This is levels of dopeness. I didn't know this about Ultraman, dude. I didn't know he was like. Now you recently, I think we were a couple weeks ago talking about the Eldrazi, right? Mm-hmm. So how they exist on an outside plane is now how I perceive the Ultraverse. And
yeah,
the Ultraman.
So they kind of like M78, the original Planet of Light, is just that. It kind of like exists in its own plane almost. It's a weird quantum light realm for the most fucking part.
I love it.
And like I always knew that because that's why that's how whenever you have your characters in Ultraman, they kind of go into like this pseudo zero realm sort of thing. Like they go into their inner fucking spacium whatever bullshit.
I thought that was artistic license.
No,
I thought that was
that wasn't just like they're literally communicating in this quantum realm that all of these devices access. And I don't know if it's the same fucking beta realm, whatever this is called, but like it's the same idea. Like it's a pocket universe that they're both existing in.
They call it the plank brain, like membrane.
Yeah. And I should mention in like Zet and G, they like run into portals, especially Zet. He literally runs into a portal to enter this fucking space before he turns into Ultraman Zet.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. It like opens up a fucking blade style door and he just runs through it. It's
something
cool.
About the running thing. It's the you throw a running henshin in anything and you got me. Yeah, you got my attention.
But yeah, no, this henshin in particular where he grabs the body and then just keeps going.
And that's not the one. No, he does another one where he stays in the pose and then he kicks Asami out of this guy's hands, out of Zarab's hands.
Yes.
Zarab pretends to be Ultraman because part of his plan is to turn the government against Ultraman. So
it's the same henshin.
That's the same one? Okay, so yeah.
Because they're inside the building that he finds it. So at one point, Shinji gets kidnapped and he leaves this trail for Asami to trace because he knows she's...
Did he get kidnapped or did he set him? I think he set that up.
I think he set that up.
What was going to happen.
But Asami, again, being part of like a spy intelligence branch kind of thing, she's able to track him down and save him and then realizes, Shinji kind of knew that Zarab's master plan was to use Ultraman's appearance against him because he is aware enough to know that like now that he has taken on the form of a human, he's causing issues, right? Like he's self-aware enough that he knows the ways of the universe, that this is going to be a problem. So he knows that's kind of Zarab's endgame. And once they kind of, they tussle a little bit at normal size, he jumps out and becomes, Ultraman, Phantom Ultraman. And that's when Shinji activates his beta capsule and becomes the real Ultraman. Yeah, so, because fake Ultraman, reaches in and grabs Asami, and then he fucking front kicks her out of his hand and grabs her and puts her down.
he boots the shit out of him.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, he's dead.
he beats and Shinji beats him to the point where he can no longer sustain the camouflage. So he just like ends up. It's like this weird morphing thing where he's like shifting between Zarab and fucking. It's cool. It's cool as shit.
It's literally like a hologram glitching out. It's pretty sick the way that they do it.
It's cool.
And like I said, Zarab is the first one to take over the country in this movie.
Yeah, and I keep crossing them up because Ichigata is Melfius, and I keep
Maleficus is the second one, and it kind of does it the same way, but less like tyrannical. Where he's like, he doesn't show up and is like, hey, I'm going to turn off all your shit and then turn it back on. He shows up and is like, hey guys, let's work together. Come on now, like
there's a scene,
peace in the universe.
Yeah, there's a scene where he's talking to the Ultraman. If you remember, they're at the
swing set or whatever,
takoyaki bar.
Oh, okay.
No, well, they're two. It's like one continuous conversation. But the real hardcore of it is they're sitting at this table, and he's basically telling them, "Look, I don't want to fight you. Like, we don't have to.
Yeah,
we can. I'll probably kill you, but I don't want to. You don't understand. Like, this can be okay if you just go with my plan.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, we're cool if you just." Go with it.
And it was a very interesting conversation, right? Like that was a very villain conversation, but the way it plays off, like he's literally like dabbing his cheek, eating some yakitori, like he's just chilling, and he's like, I mean, we can fucking do this if you want, man. Like we can.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to, but we can.
And Ultraman the whole time is just like, I know there's a level of me that gets that, but the human in me is like, nah. The human I hear in my heart is telling me, nah, I can't let that
the disgusting meat suit robot that I'm wearing is telling me no.
Yeah. But it's a cyborg too. That's weird.
It's weird. It's fucking weird.
He doesn't bend his neck. Did you notice that?
No.
When he's in his Shinji suit, he does not articulate his neck much. It is maybe a 30-degree turn. You know what I mean? And that's because the shoulders are coming right after. It's one thing I noticed in the Shinji suit.
Interesting. I'll have to watch it again. I'm curious to see if I watch it again if I can see his more like robotic moves at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. That is a crazy. Actually, okay. So that brings it to a level closer to Shin Godzilla for me. Honestly, like that's a cool fucking level. Like that's the kind of shit I'm here for.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think watching it twice and then watching all these behind the scenes stuff and knowing what they were trying to do, what they were trying to achieve, and it was purposely, campy. It's purposely heavy injected with levity. It makes it better. And I get it. The only thing that I wish they did differently, and I think you feel the same, the final fight.
I mean, we'll get to that in a second because I want to talk about Maleficus first because this fight's fucking cool too.
Well, the Melfius fight. Oh, I'm not talking about I'm talking about Melfius.
Oh, you're talking about literal fight, not the fucking bullshit.
Yeah, fight. No. Okay, because the ending is not quite a fight, guys.
No,
it's not a fight.
No, it's
final fight.
Spoiler.
The final fight with Melfius.
Yeah.
Because I don't know Zoffy. I didn't know Zoffy.
Okay. Also, I put the kick there. I don't know if you saw that. I put the kick in the Discord. The fucking the double kick where they kick each other. It's fucking sick. So that's how this fight starts, by the way. So Maleficus has signed an agreement that the government is going to work with him for a trade of some beta boxes. He gives them one that they can, break down and kind of take apart and replicate. And the SSSP is like, hey, we can't let him do this. We cannot. So they devise a plan to steal the beta box against the government wishes because the government literally ordered them under the threat of death if they interfere.
Oh, wait. How did they do that, bro?
They fucking storm into the building. And then he goes, can we talk about this later?
Love it. My man, they find the beta box.
Yep.
By one of the more uncomfortable moments in the movie. In order to find the beta box in the plank realm, there's no sense, no sight, no sound, nothing except smell.
When you activate the beta box, there is particles left over that have a certain smell to them. And because of that, Ultraman starts to smell Asami for a solid minute and a half.
And it's not that. No,
all
it's
of it.
all Asami.
Yeah, this isn't like sniff some hair, sniff here, sniff the neck. No, this is all the way down. And she's like, I haven't showered in a few days.
That's true. She does say that, and he's like, "That's even better. It'll be stronger."
It was. She's such like a refreshing character.
She's a trooper.
She's like,
she is, because
she smacks her own ass all the time to give herself fucking invigoration to go into like scenarios.
Yes, a double-handed one too. It's a double-handed.
And then she'll just slap her teammate's ass because fuck it, why not? Everyone needs a little inspiration every once in a while.
She really did bring a sense of this movie where you're like, okay, I see how much fun these people had. Yeah. She had fun with this character.
Yeah.
There's no, even when she's like being Lois Lane and in danger, you could tell she's gonna be all right.
It was just, yeah, like I think that's like a key thing that made this movie really work. I feel like everyone involved was having fun. Like the crew were having fun with each other on set. Like they were just having fun being in an Ultraman movie. Like it's again, it's a very different vibe from Shin Godzilla, which was very like, this is a commentary on how the government handles, you know, national or natural disasters and yada yada yada. This is like, yo, watch the big dude fucking kick this other big dude.
Yeah, and that's all it had to be. Yeah. Because again, this I now see that Ultraman is the feel good show.
Yeah,
and now I feel good watching this movie. We left that theater confused. Like,
I was fucking confused. I was a little upset, honestly. Like I was moving. I left and I was like, did I even fucking like that movie? I don't even know, man. Like,
and that's the point. And that's why I think we didn't get it.
And by bad, I mean like when I say it was bad, I don't mean the movie. Like it was bad, my feelings for it. I was so confused and conflicted and like, what the fuck did I even just watch? Like, you know, it was a bad reaction to the movie because it is a good movie.
I was scared because I'm like, man, I know I don't get this movie yet. Mm-hmm. And because I don't get it, anybody who's taking their 4-year-old, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, unless they're, you know what I mean? I was just worried that it wasn't going to do well enough that I don't know how I'm trying to articulate this, but I'm just trying to say that if this didn't do well, I was scared it was going to ruin the future. So knowing that it's okay, that it did pretty fucking good.
Gangbusters for 2 days.
That's what makes it amazing. Cause I was so worried that it wasn't going to do well.
Yeah.
But I get it. I get the movie now. That's what I mean. Like, guys, the movie's good. It's not great. It's good.
It's fun. It's a good goddamn tokusatsu fun-ass movie, all right? Go watch Shin Ultraman. But yeah, Maleficus, to get back to their fight, like you mentioned, he throws like 3 of these fucking discs. Maleficus just like judo chops them out of the way. And then essentially it kind of turns into the fight just stops because Maleficus eyes another Ultraman behind our Ultraman. And this Ultraman is gold and black, very different color, and he's just kind of floating there. And I think he's like normal sized at that point. He's not large. He's just kind of chilling there.
He doesn't get big. Yeah, it's Zoffy, and I don't know who Zoffy is in the overall lore. I thought he was an extra character. I've only heard of him a few times.
Yes, but
is he like the Raiden of this story? Like,
so Zoffy, from what I can gather, again, I've never seen the show really, but I know he shows up in the last episode to do something very similar and is there to help bring. So Ultraman's real name is Lipia, just so you guys know. That's his given like Ultra name, his like M78 name. Ultraman is the moniker that the government gives him, even in this movie. It's like his moniker, like, you know, unknown life form, unknown life forming Kuga, that kind of thing. Yeah. So they call him Ultraman, but his real name is Lipia. So Zoffy shows up and goes, "Hey Lipia, like, let's just fucking go home, man. Like, we'll nuke the planet. Let's just go home."
Let me just drop this thing. Oh, Zeton. Yes.
Yeah.
So
he's like, you know, we're just gonna like this. He sees it in a very different light than Ultraman, right? Like Ultraman sees it as like, wow, this is a great bunch of people. This robo meat suit I put on is very kind-hearted, and these people are very kind-hearted. Zoffy shows up and goes, "Fucking burn it all."
Yeah, like, okay, we're done here, right? You had fun? Because we gotta go.
Zoffy's like, I don't want to come back. I'm just gonna fucking exterminate us.
It's like, I just don't understand. I don't understand your fixation.
Turn it all to glass. Okay? Turn it all to glass.
and that's legit what he was about to do. But you know, Zeton, I don't know. what he is in the show, but what he is in this, he's literally the biggest tactical nuke that could ever exist.
He's more of a attack space station than he is an actual kaiju in this one, because I'm pretty sure he's just like Zeton shows up in a lot of Ultraman. I've recognized Zeton from some of the shows we watched. Like he was in Orb. There was a variation of Zeton in Orb. I think Juggler uses him to like transform into one of the forms, that kind of thing. And he's in like X. He's in all the. He's a pretty staple Ultraman character. Mainly because he was like the final boss in the original show.
Right.
And I don't know if it's the same context where like they released Zeton to like bring Lipia back and just destroy the planet. I don't know. But Zoffy kind of plays the same role. He goes like, "Hey, Lipia, let's just fucking go home. I'll give you this out. How about that?" And yeah. So I think that's kind of how he gets home originally, because Zoffy just kind of seems to be. They have this code, right? Like they have the Ultra Code. I think he even refers to it like the Code of Light or something like that.
Is that what they call it?
Because they're basically like, so the beings of light in Ultraman, from what I'm gathering, are kind of like Time Lords in Doctor Who. Like they're these omnipotent, powerful beings that kind of police the galaxy in like a background kind of aspect.
It's that unspoken thing that we always have, like the Watchers, the fucking
like they're that kind of thing. The Celestials, the Watchers, like the Time Lords are the same idea in Doctor Who. Like they're kind of just there because they've been around forever and they kind of know what's up and they're the most powerful. So they're just kind of like, hey, society, why don't you hey, go over there? So same kind of idea. That seems to be what the beings of light are. And Zoffy's like, hey, we have this code that we abide by when it comes to new civilizations and things like that. Like we've been monitoring this, but it's kind of like the Dust Bowl in the universe kind of thing. But like now that, other species have seen that they can use the beta stuff. Fucking burn it all.
He does say that we humans are following the same evolutionary path as them.
Yes.
So,
but he also says something about like we're much more like violent or something like that.
Duh.
He says like, eventually they could become like the beings of light, but they're much too violent and primitive right now, or something like that.
Yeah. You think, bro.
As Ultraman is getting his Ultra Disc, his fucking Destructo Disc, and throwing it at fucking Zeton.
Now, we're the violent ones. Sure, we're the violent ones. Maybe.
It's fine.
But who has the planetary tactical nuke in his fucking back pocket?
Don't ask questions. Just fucking burn it all.
So Zeton is this literal small box that Zoffy pulls out of his RPG pocket and goes, "Fly, my child," and it goes into the fucking sky. Now, mind you, this shit is so big. It turns from this little box to this thing that you can see
from the ground.
Yeah.
Like Ultraman flies through the sky, you can't see him, right? It's like a space shuttle. He's like the size of a space shuttle, maybe a little bit bigger, right? He's big, but he's not like huge. This thing, you see the fucking outline in the sky, and like we were playing Asora's Wrath this week, and that's the shit that Wizen does. The dude when he gets ginormous, it's that kind of shit. Yeah. And he just eclipses the fucking Earth. That's what Zeton does.
Oh God, what do you do?
What do you do? You fucking send Ultraman up there. That's what you do.
Not even that, because he gets his ass pushed in.
Gets his ass beat. He tries to do this like mirror shield. He tries to Destructo Disc his ass. He tries to fucking spin. He does the buzzsaw again, and he tries to like kick the lasers out of the way. Nothing works.
No, nothing.
Did you notice when he did it? He turned sideways, so he turned into a fucking like spiral shield.
Dude, it does this blast. It blasted him with the blast from a blast.
Yep.
Do you know what I'm saying?
It
has these two cannons. It has these two cannons that shoot an energy at each other that then shoot that energy at his ass.
After absorbing his energy bullshit.
What the fuck? He gets so beat the fuck up that he falls into a pseudo coma, and they're like I think he knew he was gonna get KO'd.
Oh, he knew he couldn't take this thing on.
He left. Yeah, he did put a lot of faith in humanity, and that's like the biggest thing, the biggest message that he wanted to relay to them is that I'm gonna help, but you got to help me figure this out. Like he had given them the I don't know, the code, he
gave them the mathematical equation for the beta capsule and how it works, and he says, I'm not going to give you one. I need you to figure this out for yourself so that you can evolve.
he looped the rule.
Yeah.
He went right around it. He's like, look, he didn't find this out for me.
Because he was like, this was, remember, this is what Maleficent was trying to do, right? Give them beta boxes and beta capsules so that they can kind of find their own way. And he was like, no, if you do it like that, it's going to immediately become a weapon. You need to figure this out for yourself so it can be used for other things, not just weaponry.
Yeah.
So that was the idea.
Doesn't work. Okay. Good spirit.
So then you get a scene of fucking Taki in like a VR headset just chatting with the world.
My second favorite scene in this movie. He's literally in the VR headset in English talking about the power and the whatever, the E equals MC whatever, to a room full of nerds that nobody's there. It's only him. You're only seeing him, but it's implied that he's talking to Mark Zuckerberg. He's talking to fucking Eli, that fucking cunt. He's talking to all these smart people trying to figure out Elon, whatever the hell his name is. He's talking to all these fucking people who are gonna figure out how to make this beta equation work.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out the equation, right? Like, and he was like, and the note Lipia left was literally like, I tried to translate this into your language so that you would understand it.
Yeah.
And you just see this fucking like, it's like a 3-paragraph fucking equation on the page.
It's even that, bro. I'll take it, because there's no way you can even break that into dummy for me to understand. Because they try. They're like, yeah, you're just gonna piggyback off the first tension, and that's gonna give you a 0.5 second window.
Yeah, it's like, so while he's they find out while he's Ultraman, it's gonna open up like a vortex pinpoint bubble bullshit thing for like 0.01 milliseconds
or some shit like
ridiculous nonsense. So basically, you have a MacGuffin for 0.1 millisecond. Yes. That's what you have if you press the beta button again.
That's how they do it. So it's literally like, all you gotta do is push the button again, bro.
Yeah. So it's to put this
did you turn it off and back on again?
Yeah. You have to press the beta capsule button and do the fucking fire the ship at the Star Destroyer bullshit. You hyperspace at the ship. That's what he does. Essentially, from fucking Force Awakens.
And he does it. And it does this weird ass 70s retro effect that's fucking cool as shit. Because
it does the henshin.
It's also what happens after that blackout effect. Like it creates like,
so it literally creates a horizon, a fucking black hole horizon.
And then horizon. That's what happens.
Yes,
they get stuck, and he's trying, and it's like implied that they tell him like, you can escape, right? You're gonna escape, right? Yeah, totally. I got this.
Yeah,
no,
he doesn't. He doesn't fucking.
He's doing the U-butt flying the entire time.
He's doing the fucking model in the wind tunnel shit. That's what he's doing, and then like he still doesn't move as he gets sucked in. I can't stress this enough. This thing doesn't fucking move. No. It's hilarious. I love it. Like, I could literally just, like, I'm going to take this thing and go, wee. Yeah, that's what exactly happens. What and he stands like this the whole fucking time. Like, he's like,
more strings, more whip. There's more whip in it. That's what it is.
Fuck. Yeah.
But it's great. It's so campy, it's great.
Hilarious. I loved it. I was literally sitting there just like, oh my god, what the fuck is happening? Yeah. But yes, this creates a literal black hole horizon that this thing fucking gets sucked into, and that's the only way they defeat Zeton. But Zoffy just rolls the fuck up. He just rolls into this horizon.
So Lipia's like half dead. He's like, what happened?
Lipia's literally floating around in beta quantum space, whatever it is. And Zoffy's like, you done fucked up, didn't you?
You fucked it up. But hey,
doing this like all-powerful floaty bullshit around him.
I swear, Zoffy is the Raiden. He's Lord Raiden. He has to be. He's always there. Always. But he's like, hey, so we're done? You good? Like, and Lipia's like, yes, but, give him his life back. And
I'd like to stay here and help the people.
You can't do that, fucker.
Yeah, okay. Zoffy's like, no. How many times do I gotta say no?
And that's kind of it. Kind of is where I think the ending was like, what? Because you get that ending where, I mean, it's legit. Lipia dies to give his life back to Kaminaga, but we don't get anything after that. You get this warp to reality where Kaminaga is implied to have warped back to the Earth, and his friends are around him, and they all take turns saying his name in perfect unison or in perfect sequential order, and then it's over.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. That, and then just fucking credits roll.
That's it.
Literally, just hard cut to credits. It's like, what?
You need that extra beat, but you don't get it because you don't even get that. Oh, he's back. It's that. Yeah. Wait, he's back.
I needed. This is what I fucking needed, right? Like, I needed Zoffy flying off, holding like a little light sphere or something. That's what I fucking needed. Like, literally anything. anything, but no. You get nothing, and you fucking like it.
You get nothing. You lose, sir. Good day.
Fucking nothing. And this asshole's alive again. Okay? Don't crash into him next time.
And that's where I was like, damn, okay, so it's a downer of an ending. Like, when the more you think about it, Lippy is dead. This guy's now powerless, and Kaiju still might turn up. So it's just like, you're not out of the woods yet. So sequel. So Shin Kamen Rider, what's up?
Here's my ploy. If you're gonna do another Ultraman, do Shin Zet, because Zet is the best fucking Ultraman there is. So
if they do Zet,
they wouldn't.
Okay.
They have many Ultraman before him.
Well, if they're doing the shows, I mean,
Zet it came out 2 years ago. Not even.
What am I thinking?
I don't know.
Z?
I'm thinking of Ultraman Zet. Yeah, Z. The one that came out in like 21.
Who's the other one with the Zero? Sorry. See?
Zero came out in like 1990 something. He was like the first Showa one.
That's what I was.
Heisei.
That's what I thought you were talking about at first.
No,
I thought
Zet. No, the one after G. The one who G'd is like, hey. Yeah,
I'll get there. Be patient with me. Don't kill me. But no, legit. Like, doing a Zero wasn't he like the most popular of the populars? Like, wouldn't that be something to market?
He's like the fucking guy of Ultraman. It feels like so.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. He's like dude.
I okay.
I don't know. I've never seen the Zero movies. I'm sure he's cool. I've only seen him when he shows up in the shows. So I mean, he's cool when he does.
Rockstar, so yeah. They
treat him like he's fucking space Jesus, because he
Decade. Like when Decade used to show up, it's like,
he just like shows up randomly.
Too?
Yeah. So he's like everyone's mentor now that he has been mentored by everyone. So because he's like it's something like he's the son of Leo and was mentored by Taro, something ridiculous like that, and then like I don't remember what it is exactly, but then like he goes on and mentors Jeed. And then Jeed mentors Zet, so like the three of them show up, and they have a really cool episode where all three of them are kicking the shit out of this thing.
So like when you say it like that, it kind of makes me appreciate the thing, because then every sequential Ultraman does tie into the previous one, right?
Yeah. Like, so Ultraman always has seemed to be generational to a sense, where it's either someone's kid or it's, their disciple. I don't remember what the story is. I know it's like Ultra 7 maybe is his dad, and Ultraman Leo was his teacher. He has a relation to two other Ultraman. I'm talking about Zero. He has a relation to two other Ultraman. And I think that's what it is. I think he's Ultra 7's son, and he was trained by Ultraman Leo. That kind of thing.
Damn.
Because Ultraman Leo is like an actual martial artist, apparently. Which like the only seasons I really want to watch. So and then like Zet is Zero's or Jeed's fucking like little dude, and then Zero is training him. So that's how they kind of get that relation. Like he's Zero like took him under his wing and his thing too, but then like Jeed shows up and kind of becomes his senpai bullshit.
I would not want Jeed in my crew. I'm sorry.
He gets the coolest form he's ever had in that show, to be fair.
Does he?
Yeah, let me find that real quick.
It's not to say anything, because his designs are actually okay. I like the good guy Belial type thing. I do like that, but at the same time, that henshin, oh god, you go, I go, we go. Why? Where are we going? I don't want to go. That doesn't sound anywhere. That doesn't sound great. You sound horrible.
Yeah. All right, so here's a pretty solid picture. Put this in the Discord for you. I'll pull it up for everyone at home to check out. But this is Jeed, how he looks in Zet. And this is the coolest form he fucking has. So
look at the armor.
Yeah, like it's cool as shit. I
See,
would
but
totally.
he looks like.
And then like he still got the eye things going on, and like Jeet also had the really cool rocket punch form, the one that had Taro mixed into it. He had that cool
Is it a
like burner
cloud
fist.
punch?
He literally has fucking like boost rockets on him.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like boost magnum style fucking like boost buckle bullshits. He's got like those things going on.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah, and like his final form was fine. It was like king whatever. I don't know. But like this is by far his coolest form.
Nothing of his show. Yeah, I don't know anything about his show.
I watched till he got the king form, and then I was like, I'm done here. I'm moving on with my life.
I could not handle the henshin.
That's
just that
really all it is. I can't do the henshin.
Yeah. Even the what is it? The triple. It's a triple thing, right? Ding ding ding. Right.
For Jeed.
Jeet. Yeah.
Jeed is 2. No, 3. Yeah, you're right. It's 3.
Ugh. Gross.
Yeah.
Too much.
But
Too
Gamma
much.
Future is one of Zet's forms, and it is peak fucking Ultraman. So Gamma Future uses Gaia, Dinah, and whatchamacallit? Tiga. There you go.
The new guy has the Digi-Egg, right?
The new guy is Dinah's fucking successor, because that was so successful when we watched that. This is Gamma Future. This is the coolest fucking. This is peak fucking Ultraman.
Oh, it's nice.
That's one of Zet's forms.
See, and he's got the dragon armor.
Yeah, he's got the dragon armor. It's great.
I love it.
But yeah, Zet's cool. I like Zet a lot. It's the only Ultraman
So-
I really like enjoyed.
Is that the weakness though? If you punch him in the chest like a putty, he just kind of blows up.
That's this form's weakness. This is his mystic form. This is his fucking like cast bullshit. And he'll like do doppelgangers, and he's got like light whips and shit. And I think at one point he like creates a black hole just because fuck you.
Because his dad did back then. Yeah. Okay.
He just creates a fucking black hole. So that's cool. Yeah, and some bullshit like that. So
Jeez, Dinah, what happened? What happened?
I don't know. He tried 1,000 Years of Pain, some fool, and then we were like, I'm done here.
I keep forgetting that.
Yep.
And every time we remember that, I'm good.
we tried to watch that. That was like the 4th fucking episode or some shit on this channel.
Yeah. I can't. I'm sorry. And that's his kid.
Yeah, Decker is his kid. Zet is not his kid. Decker, the newest one,
That's
is
not
his kid.
Excuse me.
Yeah, Decker is his kid, the newest one. I think it's almost over if it's not over now. It's ending soon, I know that. But Ultraman Decker.
I like the Digi-Egg, but
It's all right.
I think Orbs,
It's everything is never going to beat Orb for you.
No, but I mean the card thing is one thing for me because it has the card element, but it also has the I don't know, the weapon too. It serves both functions. The changer to a weapon is good, not just if it has to be both, I'd rather it be both.
Okay. Interesting.
Like the end. As much as I don't like the end, I do like the idea of the changer and the weapon being the same thing.
Yeah.
Kyoryu.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
The they do use, I know, in Zet he uses the riser, like the actual changer itself. It gets big and he like punches people with it and shit. I don't remember how he gets the spear and stuff because the Gamma Future one also uses a spear. I don't remember how he gets it, to be honest with you. But yeah, like they all have. So like Trigger did the same thing. It had one weapon. Trigger is the one that comes after Zet, and Trigger is fucking boring, by the way.
Was it?
Yeah.
You really did try. You did.
I tried. I watched like 10 episodes of that shit because I was doing it at the gym, and it just helps, fucking on ellipticals and fucking whatever's faster. But like I put solid effort into that show. It's so boring. And like the biggest issue with a lot of Ultraman for me, like you get the forms really quick and then you kind of just ride that until they get the final form. And then you just ride that till the end of the show. Like they get their power-ups in not a great pacing most of the time.
Like worse than Kamen Rider because we get it pretty bad.
Like Trigger, the first 3 episodes are him getting each of his 3 forms. And then he doesn't get his final form until like 15. So you just ride those 3 the whole time.
And all you get is the final form for
and
like
then all you
episodes.
Get, and then it's like 25 episodes. So you get the final form, and then you just ride that till the end. It's just not spaced well, and that's kind of my issue. Why I like burn out on Ultraman so fast is like I need something to like keep me more interested because 9 times out of 10, unfortunately, like Ultraman fights don't keep my attention. Because like most of the time they're just kind of like flopping around and doing the judo Ultraman thing where they just kind of roll around with each other.
I got you.
But Trigger's weapon is a sword that can open into fucking, they call it like ultra scissors or some bullshit. And then it also opens all the way up and it's like a bow. But like, I'd rather it, I don't know, fucking do something else, literally, other than these fucking scissors. Because do you know who uses the scissors is his strength form. And I'm like, what? He doesn't even fucking like clamp with them.
That's what I was saying. It's got the clamps. It doesn't have the clamps.
It's like a V. He just like stabs people with. And then he like stabs it in the ground and it creates like a shockwave.
I'm okay. So this actually has me in an interesting concept here. Do you prefer power creep versus something like that, where you get everything up right away and that's it, and then you just got to figure out how to make that work, versus you're gonna get a power up this episode, you just got to tough it out? You know what I mean?
I would rather they do something like double, where like we saw them fairly early, but they're still pretty spaced out, right? Like we see one maybe every like fourth episode, we see a new one.
Because they had enough combos to get them out of certain situations.
Yeah, and then they also had like there was a big 2-episode arc thing going, so we would have like 2 arcs. We'd see the next new combination, right? Like we'd see 2 arcs,
right?
But and then also some of them aren't even like a big deal. Like, you know, we would run through Joker and then like Joker grenade, Joker, you know, fire Joker, whatever, that kind of thing. Right. And then like we would go on to Trigger, and then we'd see Trigger Luna. We'd see whatever. We'd kind of mix and match those ones. I think it's when you do something like that, that's how, like, that's a good example of how a minimalist version can be interesting for 50 something episodes. Like he gets, in the grand scheme of things, he gets 2 power-ups, right? Like other than that, he just has everything up front.
Yeah.
And like it still doesn't get old by the time. I mean, honestly, by the time he got Prism Bicker, if he didn't get it soon, I would have been fucking tapped out, to be honest with you. Like that was because like at that point we've been sitting with you know, Fang Joker for a while. Yeah, we've been singing that for like a solid 6-7 episodes kind of thing, and it's like that's the gimmick. Was it more? Okay, yeah, I remember him getting the Prism Bicker in the extreme pretty late.
Yeah, that was like 30s, late 30s. I feel like
that was after the whole terror thing and everything, so like that kind of had petered out at that point. So it was like, I need some, maybe not. But like, I just remember feeling like if he doesn't get something soon, I'm going to lose my mind.
And Axel didn't get shit. And that's like, after trial, it was just like, you're good.
Yep. Like, no, they just give him badass finishers for the rest of the show.
And that's kind of the thing. It was style. That show had substance. It wasn't just wait for the next power-ups for him to beat that thing. It's just, he's going to figure it out. You just got to see what he comes up with. You know what I mean? Like,
and I think that's kind of the ultimate version of it. Like I don't really like when there's a power up an episode kind of thing. Like Wizard has that issue where it's like there's so many goddamn rings that he uses, I couldn't even tell you what 99% of them fucking are. Like I know Big and I know his fucking elemental ones. So that's all I got. And he has that one that gives him a suit. I remember that. It's like dress up. Or fancy or whatever the fuck it's like he puts it on and goes fancy or like dress up.
Really? Oh god.
And he gives him like a fucking swallowtail suit.
He does have a Christmas one.
He does it. Merry Christmas.
Happy. Wait, what is it? Happy marriage. Sorry, that's Drive. That's Drive. Jesus.
Yeah. It like that kind of thing is a little much. That's like I know what you're doing. You got to sell the toys, but like work with me here.
I guess. And maybe that's the disconnect. And obviously it was the toys that made the difference. But I mean, when you think about it, the Showa era is all about they only had what they had. Yep. They didn't even have swords. You know what I mean?
I'm sure they sold toys. Like I'm sure action figures were big even in the 70s, right? But I don't. Right. That definitely was not their intention in the gate. Like Heisei and Neo Heisei, especially Neo Heisei, is very much we got to sell the toys. Like the point of this show is to sell the toys. And that's why we started getting all the Kamen Rider gimmicks, the things like that, the collectibles, the legacy versions of those things, stuff like that. Not to say there wasn't toys for the older seasons. It's just like it doesn't feel as much of like this is the show to sell the toys. This doesn't feel like your Saturday morning G.I. Joe cartoon to sell the fucking G.I. Joe figures, you know? And like,
damn, I miss that shit. Oh my god.
I feel like maybe the 70s were a similar vibe. I wasn't fucking alive then. I mean, I know.
I was. See, the way it was then is that it was all about drugs and rock and roll.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's fine. I mean, I was in my previous life in my old body, you know, before I transferred souls. It's fine.
You were Keith Richards. He just kind of reproduced.
Yeah,
You butted off of Keith Richards.
Remember which of these I stole to get this life. You know, I don't know. I don't remember which Freckle is at this point to get this body, but you know, gingers have no souls, folks.
Nah. That's great.
You know what I'm trying to say is like I don't think that was the premise to the show. Like even the executive producers were like, no. Like kids are gonna like this show. We're making a kid show, cool. And then that was kind of the end of the conversation. You know what I mean? It wasn't we got to make a kid show. Oh wow, this kid show is really popular. Let's make some action figures and sell those, as opposed to let's make some action figures in a show to sell those action figures.
We'll tie it in. That's why I think the Ultraman is the feel-good show, because they needed to do that for kids in the times that it was. So people who grew up then are getting another dose of it now and having the same nostalgic feeling. Okay. And that's why I think this movie is the way it is. Yeah. Because it wasn't meant to be Shin Godzilla. It was meant to be the Ultraman that the kids remembered from their youth.
Yeah. This is Ultraman for the people that grew up with Ultraman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, that's how I feel about it. And I kind of feel like I missed out, but I did see it enough. So I think I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm definitely going to watch this movie again, because honestly, just anything that Anno and Higuchi can fucking pump out at this point, I am 10,000% for. So in case you guys didn't know, Anno didn't actually direct this movie. Higuchi is the one who directs this and Shin Godzilla. Anno is more like executive producer, writer, that kind of thing. So he kind of like guides the hips while Higuchi is doing the like grunt work. Yeah. So the two of them together, they made Shin Godzilla. They also made the fucking Nazca the Valley Wind short that was for the Kaiju Museum.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they made that, and that's kind of how they got into this Shin stuff. They're also doing Shin Kamen Rider. So
yes, they are.
Yep.
Yes, they are.
So that is the next project in this series, right? Like this is Shin Kamen Rider's coming out this year. I don't know if we'll get it in the States this year. As you know, we live in the States, so I'm not sure about other parts of the world, because Ultraman also went to other parts of the world. It went to a bunch of different countries. But I don't know if we'll be getting it this year. I hope so.
Let's hope.
I would love to.
We'll find a way.
Hey, Team Kamen Rider, if you guys get a little heads up on a preview or a showing, just let me know. I'd love to go. Thanks.
Or we could just, we'll just book a flight to Japan. We'll watch the movie.
Listen, if I could just fucking hop on a plane to Japan, it would be. I would have done it already, to be honest with you.
Never see us again. You'll just
never see us again.
We always had the plan. What was it? We're gonna just go indentured to the Yakuza.
No, that was your plan. Let's get this straight here. That was your plan. I was like, bet
live as their.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I would love to live in Japan for a while. And you're like, 10 years, we'll go. We're gonna go to this town. I was like, oh, it's a little fisherman town in the south. That's cool. What's so special about that? You're like, I can be in the fucking Yakuza.
It's like, the first step. So get this, you work on the docks, you do overtime, you kind of do those back deal packages where you're stuffing the fish with the stuff that they have to sell on the side, and boom, you're in.
And then I was like, but we can have a pachinko bar too. So
I'm saying.
And then we're in cahoots for life. So
then you and I just have our own host club where it's just us in the maid outfits.
That sounds exhausting though. Oh, the maid host. Gotcha. Yeah, no, that's when Nurse Carl comes in.
Yeah, that's the Nurse Carl. That's where the money is, bro.
That's where the money is.
That's where we'll get the old Japanese businessmen who are bored. They're just coming to see the glorious man in the maid outfit.
It's like that fucking the restaurant robot show. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's that fucking like robot crazy neon light spectacular show that's in Japan somewhere. Yeah. It's like that shit, basically. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like a restaurant and like show that I really want to go to if I ever go to Japan. But
I'll stay on the outside because they have robots.
That's fine. Thanks. I'm down for weird neon bullshit. Let's go. So,
it's just serving me entree. Chill.
Marty just rolls over with like a serving plate. That's what's going on. And she's like, "It's coming already."
No.
And that's when I go, sorry. I've never seen this man before in my life.
I don't know who this guy is. Go a little bit. I'm getting fucking violently arrested.
And I'm just like, ooh, pretty neon lights. That's cool. Yeah.
Oh my god. That's why we can't go, because that's the kind of shit that we'll get into. I'll end up in jail, and
You'll wake up in some weird Japanese jail, and I'll probably be drunk in some fucking like backdoor bar somewhere lost in the streets. It's not even. See, here's the thing, right? Here's my problem when I'm drunk. I'm not even joking. My problem is I have a terrible habit of just disappearing when I'm drunk, and the problem is when I'm in a city I don't know, I'm just gonna dis the fucking appear.
We're gonna find out where you're at 3 days later.
Yep.
You come back with birds living in your
I went from fucking Tokyo to Osaka, and I don't know how I got there.
I found 3 kittens. This one's Mimi, and this one's
right. And all of a sudden, I'm a citizen. So there you go.
By the way, don't ask what happened to the pinky.
Yeah, don't ask. I met some nice gentlemen at the pachinko bar.
They very kindly showed me that way out.
They said they had beta capsules, so I went with them.
Oh yeah, that was it. You want a rider belt, young gaijin?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. How do you know?
Yeah.
Because you're wearing a rider belt right now. I haven't taken it off since I got off the plane, actually.
Oh Lord, yeah, we can't go to Japan. Yeah. It's not possible.
No. So book us a flight, guys. Please.
That'll be
strap an
international
GoPro to the top of our
incident waiting to happen.
The only way is if it's crowdfunded, and we have to go with like GoPro strapped to our foreheads the entire time. So there's this constant live feed for everybody.
So they know where we are at all times.
Why is he in the bottom of a barrel? What happened?
Literally in the bottom of a barrel, upside down.
I'm the guy who's gonna be like that drunk where I'm like trying to grab the noodles out of that stream that they do.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm just like chopsticks are just in my head, just fucking sticking on my ears.
Oh my god. Shin Ultraman, anyway, folks.
Let's wrap this up. Sorry, this is what we do. Toku tangents. Yeah. Overall, like I said, I think this was the Ultraman movie for Ultraman fans who came up in the generation. It's still watchable though. It's still something that you can enjoy, especially if you do just a little bit of research. Just look into it a little bit, and it's enough to enjoy anytime. I think.
Yeah.
Will I watch it again? In a while. In a while.
Okay. I will watch it.
It's a 2-hour movie. It's a 2-hour movie.
It's a meaty 2 hours too. Like it's not like a cruising 2 hours. It's a meaty 2 hours. Like I said, this thing is like there is so much happening in this movie at all times. It feels like your cheeks are flapping, and it feels like very. And I was thinking about this is the last point I'll make about the show. I realized a little bit later what kind of made it feel that way, and there's a lot of extra cuts even for very basic conversations. There's a lot of camera jumping and cutting even for like Asami talking to Shinji or Kamenaga.
Yes.
I don't remember if that's his name, but like, and it's cut very quick even when it's a very normal conversation, when he's just like, what are human herds, whatever, and then there's like 19 cuts. It's almost like an action scene while they're having a conversation. So
I feel like that was
that's like kind of what like that absolutely is. And it's like I get the whole point is like this is happening, they have to figure this stuff out quick, and that's kind of like the idea, right? Like, oh, we got to figure this out, fuck
yeah
and it's just added to it, and it was nice. But I kind of realized that's why it felt so quick and fast paced, because there was 19 cuts for something that would normally have like 1 or 2. So
I think that
but
check it out, guys. Definitely check it out.
Like I said, Shin Godzilla is great. You should check this one out too. If you like Shin Godzilla, you will definitely love this movie too. It's just a different flavor of the same delicious cookie, I guess. I don't know, same recipe, different flavor. There you go.
Yeah, after you watch Shin Godzilla and you feel kind of like you need a shower, just watch this movie. You're good.
Yeah. I mean, I will just bathe in the depression. It's fine. It's what I do. So.
No, that's what happened. You're one of those things that fell off Godzilla's tail at the end of Shin Godzilla.
That's definitely what it is. That's definitely what it is.
Oh god!
Just can't wait for Shin Godzilla 2.
Imagine one of those things falls, right? Like a bunch of them just fall down, right? And they all start doing that, the Renala students crawl thingy that they can't really stand up, but they're looking at you.
They're doing that like kill me thing.
They're doing that, but imagine they're doing that yell from RoboCop where he's like,
yes,
oh my,
that's essentially
God,
what it is. But then there would be like a hint of the Godzilla roar in there, just a very slight hint.
It's that rasp. Oh,
yeah, it'd be like, but like,
love it. That would give me nightmares for days. I just gave myself fucking nightmares.
Yeah. And well, good thing they're never gonna make Shin Godzilla 2, so that's cool.
Depends.
Yeah.
When Shin Kamen Rider does gangbusters, bro, and then
they'll do Shin Evangelion, and then they can have their sick Shin Avengers.
We have to watch that if it happens.
I mean, they kind of already. Shin Evangelion is basically the rebuild series that they did the movies. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same thing, but like it veers off by the end of the first movie to like something completely different. So.
Yeah. You can't get more Anno than Anno can get Anno.
Yeah, Anno's like, let me one up myself. And then in the biggest plot twist, spoiler, at the end of the fourth movie, everyone has a happy fucking ending. I was like, holy shit. Yeah.
Oh, that's what?
I was like, good lord, that's amazing. So I have a whole
just
theory on that.
Like I have an idea and nobody's gonna believe me.
I'm not gonna get into Evangelion, but this is how I view the ending. This is my quick 30-second fucking take, right? Like the original series was made when he was in the fucking worst depression of his life. He had no money, he had nothing. It was like last ditch effort to try and do what he was trying to do as an animator. He made that. That's why there's so many things that people are like, oh, this is revolutionary art. It's because they didn't have any fucking money. They had to hold the shot for 30 seconds because they didn't have any fucking money. So fast forward, he redoes the series. Like this is his magnum opus, right? Like Evangelion's his fucking magnum opus. He redoes it.
Okay.
And it's, to me, it signified him being in like a much better mental health state when it ends with like Shinji not being a fucking dirtbag and he grows up and has real human fucking connections with people. And it ends in like him and Asuka, I think, are like actually married or something like that. And
oh wow.
Yeah, like him and it's not really like the weird mom shit anymore. It's like him and Asuka develop a real fucking human relationship. So
okay.
Yeah, I was that's how I interpreted that. Like he's in a much better mental health kind of place, and he just needed to put that cherry on this like chapter of his life.
I see.
It was him dealing with his demons, guys.
I'm with it now.
And
okay.
That's my fucking. This isn't an Evangelion fucking podcast, so I'm not going to go on much further into that because I could fucking know about Evangelion all day.
Maybe next week.
We'll see how I feel. Also, I'm on episode 100 of Soul Land. Don't judge me. Okay.
I was just about to say because this may become a Soul Land depending on
this may
how many
become a
episodes
Soul Land podcast. Yeah, I'm on episode 100. I hit 100 about 15 minutes before this podcast.
I will catch up because I'm telling you guys, check this show out. Every clip blows me away. I'm only gonna say this. It is everything you've liked about every anime you liked in one show. So just rock with it.
Yep. If you like shonen anime, it's every fucking shonen anime trope, including a nen system, and then they go and hunt monsters, Monster Hunter style. That's it. And then there's a fucking tournament arc.
And there's gods, and there's Super Saiyans, and there's Kaokens.
Poseidon shows up at some point.
There's gods.
Literal gods. Poseidon shows the fuck up.
Listen, there's this glow-eyed queen type of girl with an ice eye. I know you're not there yet, but she does this one
I think I know who it is, though.
Like, opens her eye. It is so sick.
I met the Pope, so I know who the Pope is now. If you've seen the name BB Dong floating around, that's who it is. She's the fucking Pope.
BB Dong.
Her name is BB Dong, and she's the fucking Pope. And she had a crush on a homeless dude who is like, the mutated bastard in love with his cousin. But we're not going to talk about that on this episode.
No, that'll be next episode, you guys.
And if you have questions, stay tuned.
All right. I want to let's put the wrap here. I want to give a shout out to somebody who helped me figure this my feelings out on Ultraman, because how I wanted to feel. I should say how I wanted to feel, because I want to feel something. I just don't know if I can. But there's a YouTube channel called Tenyen's Corner. Excuse me. I'm gonna try to put the link up there. His take was pretty refreshing. He has a very, it's fun. I'm gonna leave it at that. It's not somebody who's just like this is what happened, and this is what happened, and this is what happened. Like me, you know how I can get.
Mm-hmm.
It's very like it's a fun video, and it does a whole review on the movie, and he has two different ones. I prefer the ones without spoilers because he does tend to leave more flavor. I'm sending the link right now to the Discord. But yeah, this is the video I watched of his. So give him a check out, give him a shout out. It was fun, and it's something that I think is going to be useful because he does a couple other things too, and not just our usual boat.
Yeah.
There's another one on there that I'm going to check out later that I think we should see. There's one video I found before we go, because I've been trying to bring this guy up for the last couple of hero spotlights, and I keep forgetting. But there's a hero called Changeron. You ever hear of him?
Yeah. Our friends at the Tokusatsu World Tour did a review on their first episode.
Did they?
Yeah, because it's on the Toei fucking channel.
So Mr. Falcon Punch did one like a year ago, and I watched his video on it. And now I need to try to find this show or this movie, whatever it is.
It's a show. Yeah, it's a show.
That. So
like I said, the first episode is on Toei Tokusatsu. I don't know.
Shout outs to them.
I don't know if more's on there. At least 2 episodes are. So, yeah.
Let's check that out.
Okay.
I keep forgetting to bring this video up because I've been wanting to see this Changeron thing.
Okay.
Deal?
I'm down. Down to check it out.
Oh, shit.
We'll see if we can maybe find a few more. I don't know how many episodes it is, but yeah, I've seen this suit floating around just from like the Tokusatsu World Tour guys, Gem and Hawk. And then I've also just kind of seen this suit float around in general, because I don't know if you guys knew, I like weird fucking space sci-fi bullshit, and especially weirdly enough when it's like weird cop shit like RoboCop and Lady Battle Cop. Lady Battle Cop is fucking cool.
Listen, Lady Battle Cop, bro.
Lady Battle Cop was fucking cool. Let's be real.
This is Changeron, so you guys can see who we're talking about. But it's the look that got me. It has that Mugen transparent, lucent thing going. I don't know. For me, that was for Mugen. Yeah. So seeing it anywhere else.
I think it's from 1996, something like that. And this is a very like modern looking suit for it being that old.
Yeah, I dig it.
So
So that's why I want to check this out. I keep forgetting to bring it up, but now it's here.
Check it out in a we'll figure it out. It may not be next episode, but we'll figure it out.
No. Whenever. So, but it's out there.
Yeah, it's out in the universe. So we have to fucking do it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, look at that poster. Look at this. Oh yeah.
Oh wow. I like that his fucking weapon is just like the most cartoony fucking toy bullshit ever, and he has like this very like dark sci-fi look going on.
Oh, this is his second? He has a secondary?
Apparently. There's like a whole fucking team of them.
Dude, look at his secondary.
There's like a red and a yellow too.
Look at the secondary. You're gonna
there's a green, red, and there's a red and a yellow too.
It's like every bit ripped. They said muscles, he said yes.
Yeah. The robo muscles. There's a blue, red, and yellow as well, it looks like, from this little fucking screenshot that I'm looking at.
Shit.
So yeah, we'll definitely check it out and maybe take a look.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we'll get our friends from Tokusatsu World Tour to help us out with that one too, so they can give us a recap on it.
All right, last one. All right. Yeah, so other than that, that's pretty much it. I think we'll do the news next week.
Yeah, that I don't think a whole lot happened. I mean, most of the news that I would really want to talk about was the fucking Shin Ultraman coming to the US and it making $600,000
guys
in 2 days.
Let's make sure that happens for the Shin Kamen Rider times 5.
God. Yeah,
please. I'll go watch it 5 times in one day if I have to. Like, all right, guys. If you want to check out some of my stuff, you could check out my YouTube channel. I'm at 6 Echoes at the YouTube. I do a lot of spooky stuff. I'm doing a lot of stuff on TikTok now with the Toku Minutes. I'm trying to do one at least once a week. Yep. I've been cranking them out like crazy, but I'm gonna slow down because I'm tired. But
yeah.
I think we'll do one more. I think that's yours, and then we'll see what's next.
Yeah.
We're always taking suggestions. Please drop us some suggestions at our channels anytime you get a chance. Yeah. Other than that, you'll find me here. Yeah.
Yeah. You'll find me at Kaiju Carl on shit. I did one or two of those. Is it two now? I guess it'll be two now.
Big G.
I already fucking lost track. It's been like 4 total, and I already lost track. But yeah, you can see me on there. Is it the Tokudon TikTok? Is that what it is?
Yep, Tokudon on TikTok.
Tokudon on TikTok. You guys can check out the Toku Minutes there. I put them up on the YouTube channel as well, the Tokudon YouTube, where all the old episodes are. If you guys want to watch the videos, I put those up. It is now officially up to date. I'm actually uploading the last episode right now, last week's episode.
Hey.
So it is up to date finally, and so is the fucking audio feed, because it took me too long to do that. Sorry, folks. And if it was down for a little while, that's my fault. Money sucks. But otherwise, you can catch me here 4 days a week. There's 4 fucking days a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Always at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do all kinds of fun things, from talking about Tokusatsu to playing all kinds of video games. This week, I think we're doing Warhammer with the boys tomorrow, and then Wednesday we're gonna finish Onimusha. I've been grinding the fuck out of that game. I was about to say,
good. You have enough medicines to do that.
I bought 63 from the fucking store.
The game is beat.
Listen. If you guys watch that stream, I swear it, for 2 hours, 2 hours, I flame on this fucking boss because it's the most bullshit fight ever. PS2 games are bullshit. This is the most bullshit fight ever. So you know what I did? I said, fuck you. I went back to the level before and I bought 63 fucking potions. And that's just the level 1s. The level 1 medicines, I bought 63 of those motherfuckers. I bought 15 level 2s, and I bought 7 level 3s.
Oh, that's done. You're done, bro. Just with the 63, there's no way.
I don't care. I'm making sure I finish this fucking game. I also, while grinding that gold, maxed out all the weapons I was using for the ending. So...
okay.
Still haven't done Dark Realm, but all the weapons I was using when you guys watched me fight the fucking 7 bosses before that are now all maxed out. This shit has like 9 bosses in a row, guys. It's bullshit.
It is a boss rush at the end of the game.
And then the last boss is the most boss rush ever.
And the last boss is the most ridiculous. You guys, you'll see. I
know it's 2 phases. That's all I fucking know. And we couldn't get past the first one. So if 63 health potions does not get me through it, I'm not playing the game anymore. And that order, my order of fucking Onimusha games is changing very rapidly if that doesn't happen.
Understood.
So you guys can check that out. We're also continuing Asura's Wrath. We did start that in my fucking rage against that boss. We'll be playing that. And then we also have God Hand as well. We may end up skipping Asura's Wrath this week if we're doing Warhammer tomorrow, just because I don't have that much time in my life. So we'll see. I don't know. But either way, Asura's Wrath is going to slot in eventually on Wednesday nights where Onimusha is. And then we'll continue some God Hand. And I also spent an hour and a half betting on Chihuahuas. So
we're going to leave it at that. Okay, guys.
Okay, you guys can go to twitch.tv/KaijuCarl if you want to see some of that. Have a good night, guys. Bye!
Yeah.